All right, let's talk about something that's, well, kind of incredible. We're going to dive deep into your gut, but not just as the place where you digest lunch. Think of it more like a powerful, intelligent fortress. Today, we're exploring how the food you eat literally builds and defends your body's most critical gatekeeper. And you get to be the master architect of this whole thing.
So, let me just throw this out there. What if your energy, your immunity, heck, even your mood, all depended on a wall that was just a single cell thick? I mean, that sounds impossibly fragile, doesn't it? But believe it or not, that is the reality inside every single one of us.
And that wall, that's our gut's incredible gatekeeper. We're talking about the intestinal barrier. Honestly, the best way to picture it is like the most exclusive bouncer for the club that is your body. It's the one deciding who gets in and who gets kicked to the curb.
So what is it really? Well, it's this single, continuous layer of super specialized cells, and its job is to act as this highly selective filter. It lets in all the good stuff, the nutrients, vitamins, water, while making sure to keep out all the bad guys, toxins, pathogens, and bits of undigested food. It is your body's ultimate quality control specialist, working 24/7.
Okay, but what happens when that security system fails, right? What happens when the gatekeeper is just overwhelmed and the walls are breached? This is where we get into the really common, but often totally misunderstood, problem of what people call a leaky gut.
And this really shows the difference perfectly. Over on the left, you've got a healthy gut. The cells are packed together super tightly by something called tight junctions. It's like a perfectly built brick wall. But then look at the right. That's a compromised barrier. Those tight junctions have loosened up, creating these little gaps. And now stuff that should never get through can literally leak into your bloodstream, which, as you can imagine, sets off alarms all over your body.
And the fallout from this is huge. A weakened barrier can lead to things like chronic inflammation, suddenly developing new food sensitivities, a confused and overworked immune system. It can even mess with your brain through that gut-brain connection. The big takeaway here is that keeping this wall strong is just fundamental to your entire well-being.
But here's the good news. This isn't a story of doom and gloom. Not at all. We actually have a ton of power to fortify this wall. And the heroes of our story? They're the nutrients we get directly from our food. They are the construction crew, the repair team, and the fuel source all rolled into one.
So let's start with a real unsung hero, dietary fiber. I know. We usually think of fiber for regularity, but its role in gut barrier health is so much bigger than that. It's absolutely critical. It's not just passing through, it's actively building up your defenses from the inside out.
So, how does this actually work? Well, when you eat fiber, you're not really feeding yourself. You're feeding the trillions of good bacteria in your gut. They have a feast. They break down that fiber and produce these amazing compounds called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs for short. These SCFAs are the #1 energy source for the cells of your intestinal wall, helping them stay strong, healthy, and really tightly sealed.
Okay, so if fiber helps fuel the wall, what's holding the bricks together in the first place? For that, we turn to amino acids. Seriously, if your gut cells are the bricks, then amino acids are the mortar. That strong binding stuff that gives the whole wall its structure and lets you patch up any damage.
And let's meet the key players. You've got glutamine, which is another major fuel source for the wall itself. Then there's threonine, which is essential for producing the protective mucus layer that acts as a first line of defense. And arginine helps with blood flow, making sure the repair crews can get where they need to go, fast. Simply put, getting enough of these from protein is like literally rebuilding your inner defenses.
So, we've just been looking at all the microscopic details, the cells, the bacteria, the molecules. Now, let's zoom out. Why does this tiny internal battle matter so much in your day-to-day life?
Because of this one staggering number. An estimated 70% of your entire immune system is located right there in your gut, interacting with that barrier every single second of every day. So when you strengthen your gut wall, you're directly supporting the vast majority of your body's immune defenses. Just let that sink in for a moment.
And you know what's crazy? This isn't some new age idea. Over 2,000 years ago, Hippocrates, the father of medicine, is said to have stated this very thing. And now, all this time later, modern science is proving just how spot on he was. The health of this one barrier really is foundational to the health of the entire system.
So all of this leaves us with one final and, I think, pretty powerful question. If you start thinking of your gut not just as a digestive tube, but as your body's most diligent, hardworking gatekeeper, What are you going to feed it today? Every single bite is a choice to either fortify the wall or weaken the defenses. The power is right there, on your plate.